All right, brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Wisdom, Knowledge, and Understanding channel. I'm your host, Brother Hoover, and today we're going to be getting into Genesis 30. And like I said, this is where it's going to continue to pick up, for Genesis. It's going to continue to pick up from this point on, because now we are breaking down the rest of the 12 tribes of Israel. And Genesis 29, we went through, I think it was the first four tribes of first four of the 12 tribes of Israel, which were born through Leah. And like I said in Genesis 29, Laban, which is Jacob's uncle, kind of tricked them and then tell him some things that had to happen before he was able to marry Rachel. Jacob wanted Rachel when he first saw Rachel. He was in love with Rachel. Rachel was a beautiful, beautiful woman, to where Leah, I guess you can say she was cute. All right. However, he had to work for Laban for like 14 years before he was actually all good to go with Rachel, and so on and so on. But like I said, Leah gave him children first. So we're gonna go into Genesis 30. And before I go any further, all praise the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And like I say, please like and subscribe to the channel, Wisdom, Knowledge, and Understanding. I'm your host. And like I say, we're gonna dig a little bit more into this Genesis 30, man. Genesis 30 is gonna pick up, and that's why I say people miss out. People are missing out if they don't study and read their Bible. I was able to come across a way where I could read it like the story that it is, like it's the beautiful novel. God's word is beautiful, brothers and sisters. It has everything you can imagine in it. This Bible has everything you can think of. It works out your whole entire life. It can be worked out by praising the Lord, seeking his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, seeking his guidance. Your life can be laid out according to where the Bible is. The Bible tells it. Ain't nothing happened to you different than it happened in this book. We're going to find that out. We're going to read some of that. All right. So we're going to go into Genesis 30. And it got a little hot in here. I probably shouldn't be drinking coffee, but I drink coffee all day long. Anyway, I guess that's a service thing when I was in the service. Anyway, so we're going to get into it. Let me bring up my screen. Don't want to forget that this time. We're going to be on Genesis 30. And we're going to be going from Genesis 30 all the way down, I think it's 43. All right. So we're going to get started here. In a second, let me see what my dog finna do. You finna come over and bother me? Go on over there. You finna try to get some things started. He always want to try to get... I had a big dog, and he always trying to get right up under me. Oh, look at this. If y'all... I don't know if y'all can see this little thing. But this little fan my wife got, I tell you what, it's for her. But this little thing comes in handy. I think she got it off of TikTok or something like that. But if you can find you something like this, a little portable thing, this thing is handy. So I'm gonna put it up here. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we're gonna... Yeah, there we go. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but hopefully it ain't bothering no... I sound too much. All right? I told you, you're gonna come sit right here, and I'm gonna roll over your paw. All right, let's get into it. Genesis 30. And we're going to continue on with the bloodline, and we're going to break down some more of the 12 tribes of Israel, which came out of Jacob. All right, so let's get into it. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children. So at this time, like I said, Rachel still couldn't have any children. Leah done had at least 4 already. Rachel envied her sister, which is Leah, and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die. So she going to Jacob like, man, please give me some children. And Jacob going to respond to her like, how am I supposed, I ain't got no control over that. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm laying with you. It's up to God to give you children. It's not up to me. So he got a little upset with him. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel. And he said, I am in God's stead, who had withheld from thee the fruit of the womb. So he's, like I said, it ain't up to me. God is the one that ain't allowed you to bear children. Don't come to me like that. Basically what he's saying. So verse 3. And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. So this happened before, with Abraham. So Rachel, like I say, she gave Jacob her handmaid to have children for her, through her handmaid. All right, verse 4. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, the wife, and Jacob went in to her. Like I say, Jacob that went in to her means slept with her. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. Now here we go. We finna get into some more of the 12 tribes of Israel. Still ain't came out of Rachel yet. And Rachel said, God had judged me, and had also heard my voice, and had given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan. All right. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. And verse 9, when Leah saw that she had left bearing, okay, now Leah is saying, I can't have no more children. She took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife. Man, everybody just giving away handmaids left and right. Jacob is sleeping, but that's a lot going on. I don't know if I would want all that. I got one wife. That's it. I'm happy with that one wife. She's sitting behind me, so I ain't gonna say too much off kilter. But that's a lot going on for Jacob. It's been a lot going on for Abraham and so on and so on. But that's how God has worked it out. You can't do these things now. You got to live by the law of the land. That's part of it too. All right, verse 10. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. All right. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. Man. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Now Reuben, by this time he's pretty old. All right. Reuben is the firstborn. Then Rachel said to Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. Now Rachel is asking Leah, hey, give me some of Reuben's mandrakes that he got from the field. Now this may sound familiar. Esau and Jacob, this may sound familiar. Now let's find out what happens as we go on. Verse 15. And she said unto her, is it, hold on. Oh, my man. Let me scroll down some too. 15. We're on 15. Genesis 15. What's this? Let me find it in my book here. All right, Genesis 15. Let's see, Genesis 15. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband, and wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes. You see what just happened? Do y'all just read what just happened? So basically, Rachel went to Leah to ask for some mandrakes from her son Reuben. And Leah responded to Rachel like, man, it's not enough that you have taken my husband also. Now you want to take my son's mandrakes from me? So Rachel gave her a counter offer. Okay, Give me those mandrakes, and I'll let you sleep with Jacob tonight. And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes. Man, what's going on? What's going on? This is the design. This is a design by God, man. This all means something. This means something right here. All right, so we have verse 16. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening and said, Leah went out to meet him. Okay, so Leah ran out to meet him and said, thou must come unto me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night. So she went up to him like, hey, you need to come in my tent tonight because I paid for your company. Basically, I paid for your company for you to be with me tonight because I gave Rachel the mandrakes that my son had. So you got to come and lay with me tonight. Verse 17. Just think on that. Genesis 30 and 17. And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the 5th son. Now you remember when after the 4th son, she was like, oh, I can't have any more kids. Now God is finna bless her again, and she finna have another child, a 5th son. So she done had 5 sons of the 12 tribes of Israel, all right? And Leah said, God had given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband, and she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again and bare Jacob the 6th son. So we are already at 6 of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. And we're at verse 20. And Leah said, God had endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun. So now she's saying, okay, now Jacob will really love me and be mine, because I have given him 6 sons, 6 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 21, and afterwards she bare a daughter and called her name Deniah. Now that's going to mean something too, because later on down the line, as we get into some stories, some things are going to happen to her. And those 2 of the sons of the 12 tribes of Levi, they're going to react. And Jacob ain't going to like her. But we'll get to that later on down the line. That's why I'm saying, you study God's word, you're going to learn some things. And like I said, God's word is a beautiful thing. I mean, this is a beautiful story. It has love, hate, deception, betrayal, envy. But it has all those things for a reason to come to a final conclusion when we get to Revelation and the Lord's return. But anyway, let's move forward. And God verse 22. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her and opened her womb. All right. So now Rachel is about to start having some children. She has not had any children as of yet. Her handmaid that she gave Jacob has. So Rachel finna start having children. Verse 23, and she conceived and bare a son and said, God had taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph and said, the Lord shall add to me another son. And it came to pass, when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go unto my own place and to my country. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go, for thou knowest my service which I have done. So he's saying to his uncle Laban, all right, look, I'm finna go. I want to go back to my own people. I want to go back to my own land. I want to take my wives and my children. Bless me and let me go, or let me depart. Verse 27, Genesis 30 and 27. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, for I have learned. Now this is Laban telling Jacob, I have learned by experience that the Lord had blessed me for thy sake. So he's telling Jacob, I know the Lord only gave me all these things because you were here, because you, Jacob, because the Lord blessed you, and me, with you being here has blessed me also. Verse 28, and he said, appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. So he trying to, say what you want to stay, trying to tell me what you want so you can stay and not leave. And he said unto him, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. For it was a little which thou hadst before I came. So you didn't have that much before I came. And it is now increased unto a multitude, and the Lord had blessed thee since my coming. And now, when shall I provide for my own house also? So he's saying, I know you've been blessed since I've been here, but now I want to provide for my own house. And he said, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou would do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep thy flock. And I will pass. So he's saying, I don't want your money, but he's finna ask him Jacob finna ask Laban to do something, and Laban is not gonna realize how this gonna affect him later on down the line. But we're gonna read on. 32. I will pass through all the flock today, removing from hence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be mine hire. So he finna go and remove certain animals from Laban's flock to be his own. But it's a reason why he's doing it, and we're going to find out. So shall my righteousness answer for me in the time to come, when it shall come for my hire before thy face. Every one that is not speckled and is spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, behold, I would it might be according to thy word. So, okay, according to how you just broke it down, go do that. But Jacob got a reason for doing that. Jacob know what Laban has done to him over these 14 some odd years, but he's gonna get his reward. Verse 35, and he removed that day the he goats that were ring straight and spotted, and all the she goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, and gave them into the hand of his sons. All right, this is Jacob. And he set 3 days' journey betwixt himself and Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flocks. And Laban's flocks. Okay, so Jacob went 3 days away. And Jacob took him rods of green poplar and of hazel and of chestnut tree, and peeled white streaks in them, and made the white appear, which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had peeled before the flocks in the gutters and the watering troughs, and the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. I guess when these particular animals see this particular setup, that's how they go. That's how they're gonna bear the babies, I guess, which is amazing. That's some understanding that I pray that I be given later on, because that's pretty unique, pretty genius. Verse 39. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle, ring-strapped, speckled, and spotted. So they looked at these particular things that Jacob set up, and they had calves. And the calves came out according to what the goats and the man, I guess they came out according to what they saw, which is amazing. That's amazing. Verse 40, and Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring-strapped and all the brown, and the flock of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle. So the flocks, or the cattle that was born of how he set this up, he separated them. He didn't put them back in Laban's. He put them separate. They are his. They are Jacob's. Verse 41, and it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. So the animals, the strong animals, they could tell. He used them to bear his cattle, strong, not like Laban's cattle, which we finna find out what Laban's cattle looked like or what they were. But when the cattle were feeble, okay, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's and the strongers were Jacob's. So he gave Laban the weaker cattle, and he kept the stronger ones. Jacob kept the strong ones for himself, for his herd. In verse 23, and the man increased exceedingly and had much cattle and maid servants and men servants and camels and asses. So Jacob now has become a person with all this cattle. He has a lot of cattle now, a lot of maid servants, a lot of man servants. He is growing like Abraham did, and so on and so on. So his flocks have now increased exceedingly, and he has the stronger portion of the flocks, while Laban has the weaker parts of the flock. But it's all by design. It's all by design. So that's the end of Genesis 31 through 43. Like I say, we're going to continue to break down the 12 tribes of Israel, which is Jacob's children. And that's why I say don't let the preachers tell you that the Old Testament don't mean anything. Man, this is a breakdown of history. This is a breakdown of you and me. This is a breakdown of how things came to be, how they were back then, how the prophets prophesied and it came true, how parts of the prophecy still need to happen. They will come true. They will happen. There is no deviation from it. There is no changing it. The Lord has written it, and it will happen the way he has written it. The way it was wrote, the way it was written, however you want to put it, that's how it's going to go down. But if you don't have understanding for it, because you're not getting it in the Sunday church. So if you don't have the understanding and you study God's word, you're not going to be prepared for it. I ain't talking about physically or anything like that. I'm talking about spiritually. You have to be prepared for the Lord's coming spiritually, not physically. You can have all the food you want, the ammunition you want, the weapons you want. It's not going to mean a thing if the Lord does not remove you from having to use that. That's what I'm praying on. The Lord remove me and my wife and my children from having to use anything of that nature. He said you're going to be sent to the wilderness, but if only way you go into the wilderness if he find you worthy to go to the wilderness. And even in the wilderness, you still going to be purged in the wilderness, which people don't know you're going to be in the wilderness. So thus far, you don't know that you're going to be purged in the wilderness. So there's some things that are going to have to happen before you even get to the wilderness, which is going to be terrible. So if you're not prepared spiritually for that trials and tribulations to endure to the end, you're going to fall by the wayside. So like so many other, and I'm not trying to be one of those. I'm not trying to have my wife and my children to be one of those that fall by the wayside and get caught up and have to do what this world is going to be. This world is going to change into some things. So anyway, brothers and sisters, thank you for joining and spending your time with me on Wisdom, Knowledge, and Understanding channel. Please like and subscribe. I'm your host, Brother Hoover, and we have went through Genesis 30, and we're going to go into Genesis 31 next. That's coming up. Like I say, the story is going to continue to unfold. God's word is unfolding in front of our eyes, starting in Genesis, and we are going to read it in the order of events, in chronological order, as I called it. That's what this podcast is based on. That's the title of it, Genesis, reading of the Bible in chronological order, starting in Genesis, and we're going to go all the way to Revelations. So until next time, brothers and sisters, I love you, and may the Lord keep and protect you. And like I always say, you play with God's word right now, you're going to get played in the end on Judgment Day, and I don't want that for anybody. The Lord don't even want it. The Lord don't want to send nobody to the lake of fire, but he will. He going to. Other than Satan, false prophet, Those are definitely going to be in the lake of fire. But as far as us go, as we go, human beings go, he don't want to put none of us in the lake of fire, but he's going to do that. All right. So until next time, I love you and be safe. And I hope to see you back here in Genesis 30 as we continue on with the reading of the Bible in chronological order here on the Wisdom, Knowledge, and Understanding channel. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, I love y'all.